Tired of expensive overlanding gear? Here's how we built two budget sleep setups for the Jeep Rubicon and the GMC Canyon. Welcome back to Greenfield Overlanding, where we're all about budget overlanding and making it doable for those of us that need to drive our rigs as daily drivers.
Today we're going to show you the sleep setups that we have, me and my Jeep Wrangler Rubicon and Brian in his GMC Canyon. We're going to show you what we've got set up inside to make a comfortable evening, as well as tips, pros and cons, and how to avoid rookie mistakes.
So if you enjoy this content, like and subscribe. Really helps us out as a new channel and gets the algorithm pointing us in the right directions.
All right, hey guys, this is Steve. I'm going to give you a tour of my sleeping setup. I'm all set up inside here for the night. This is my 2024 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, which is dirty from the trails, but luckily nice and clean inside. And so I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview of what I have set up to sleep for tonight on our first overnight. So as you can see, I've got a 3-inch thick mattress pad with a small camping pad underneath it that I used to take with me camping. So this is just a roll-up foam pad on top here with a 20-degree sleeping bag that I again carried over from my camping days. And then back there in the back is a climate pillow, and I have another video that has a review of that climate pillow, so you can link over to that and see all about that. In the windows back there, we have got the window covers screens, which I picked up on Amazon, very affordable. And then hanging there on the left is my light slash fan, oscillating fan, that's also got a battery pack built into it, so it'll charge your USB devices. And that's going to blow a nice cross breeze through the Jeep tonight. It's about to get about 40 degrees tonight, so it's probably going to get a little cool at some point, but in the meantime, got some good airflow coming through here. And then as you can see, I've got some blankets. The one on the left there is actually an electric blanket that plugs into the DC outlet here in the Jeep that's currently charging some other stuff. And so if I get too cold, I'll need the blanket, and even colder, I will plug it in and get a heated blanket, along with my fire extinguisher there, as you can see on the left, just in case something goes horribly wrong. So I am ready and all set up inside here. We will see how it goes and see if I stay warm tonight. But that's a very budget setup. All right, so as you can see, it's nighttime now. I'm all ready for bed. I am sleeping at a slight angle. I'm 5'10", and both seats are as far forward as they can go. Light is on, fan is on, ready to get some sleep tonight. Have a good night.
All right, moving on to my setup. So what I have here is a 2024 GMC Canyon. This is the elevation. So what I'm running for the night is a right line tent. The reason I chose the right line, I looked at several of these truck bed tents. I have a hard fold tonneau cover in the back. Many of the tents have kind of a liner that goes into the bed as well. This one though, just kind of stretches over the outside. So that works well when I have the tonneau. I can just fold that up 2/3 of the way. And as you'll see, this stretches over the top, and I can leverage the rest of the tent space underneath. So let me unzip this bad boy. Cool. So setup-wise, I have in here, pretty simple, pretty basic. So I put down some different pieces of foam. Ultimately, I intend to get something like bed rug or something of that nature to put into the bottom of the bed to make it a little softer. On top of that, I have this kind of simple tent camping mattress, inflatable. You kind of pump it up, with your foot or your hand down here, and then easily deflate it over at the other end. This is another Amazon special. I'll find the link. We can put that in the description. So if you're interested in something like that, you can do it. The tent, actually pretty spacious from the inside, crawling around on my knees. I don't think I could stand up straight in here, but I can definitely get around without hitting the tent. I have the rain fly on right now because I'm not sure what it's going to be like this evening in terms of potential precipitation. But if you don't want that, as you can see up in the top here, there is plenty of ventilation. There's some zip downs on the sides. Right now at the door, I have it completely open, but you can actually, zip that open to more of a mesh interior as well. So I take about half of the cab or half of the bed for my sleeping area, and then keep some of the other things that I used as part of my packing over on the side. Pretty simple. Can use the folded up tonneau cover as a little bit of a mini shelf, if you will. So sticking things like my lantern and my watch and stuff as it charges overnight works out well there. But that's it, pretty simple. We're starting off basic, but for now, this does the job. Next, I want to attempt to quickly run through the setup process of the truck bed tent. I think understanding what is involved in the install might influence your decision in going with a tent like this versus some of the other options available. I've set mine up a couple of times now before filming, but the longest part for me has been determining how to initially position it. I'm curious if any of you out there have investigated a truck bed tent or have one today. Let us know with what your experience has been like with this camping option in the comments below. Once I finally get the tent positioned on the bed, I have to use the attached straps to tie down to different latchable points on the truck. This works okay, but I wish some straps were longer in order to reach more secure locations versus some of the plastic trim I hook to currently. There are a few connections to make on the interior tie-down locations as well. I found it's important to get the right amount of tension and proper positioning before you begin putting in the poles. The system comes with 3 sets of poles. 2 crisscross over the top of the tent, and they form the main roof structure. And while it's meant to be set up by one person, as you'll see here, it's much easier to get these in place with someone to help you, perhaps a good friend like Steve. The last pole goes over the entrance. With this in place, you're ready to go. All in all, this setup took me about 20 minutes in real time. All right, after a couple of trips with these setups, I think we have some good ideas of tips, tricks, pros and cons of the setup. So, Steve, why don't you go first with what your experience has been like?
Well, you saw the setup, and I can tell you, first off, make sure you test it at home before you head out. Lay everything out inside your vehicle and do the full setup. I learned pretty quickly that my mattress was a little bit long and I had to put it at an angle. The fan that you saw in the video, it has a hook on it, so I was just gonna bring it as is. But I did test it out and there was nowhere to hang that thing, especially near the window. So I brought a Velcro strap to be able to wedge that up there and be able to secure it. The other thing about the mattress is I went with the 3-inch pad. Now they sell a 4-inch pad and you might be thinking thicker, more comfortable. But if you read the reviews, people say the 4-inch pad is almost impossible to roll back up. So I went ahead and went down one level to the 3-inch. I was pretty happy with it. You did see I had a little mattress or a little foam pad underneath that, and I don't know if that was really necessary. I just brought it to just have some extra padding. The last thing is, it only got down to about 40 in our last trip, and I can say I got pretty chilly that night. I did have the windows open, so that probably didn't help. But I had the fan off, and I was using all my blankets. So the heater may be in the near future if we're gonna do much in the winter. That's where I'm at, Brian. What about you?
So I was probably a little less think ahead preparing. So as you probably noticed from the setup video, that's actually probably the shortest amount of time it took me to set it up. First time we tried it, I went out there with that tent. I probably spent 20 minutes just turning it around 4 times to figure out which way went which. So definitely good advice on spending some time doing some pre-setup. The tent works out well for basically the situation I'm in. Because I have this hard trifold tonneau cover here, I was a bit limited in my options. I think going forward, I might explore some other things. I've been looking at things like the C6 Rev tent, which is
flexible in that you can use it as a ground tent, but a lot of folks actually put it into the truck bed. So if I were to actually make a platform, I could lay that on there perhaps. And that comes with some nice features, like you have the built-in foam bed right onto the bottom of it, and it just kind of easily collapses up. So the setup time of the truck bed tent, as well as the tear down time, are kind of the drawbacks of my existing setup, especially if we were to be going on, say, more of a multi-day off-roading trip. Every time after the previous night, I'd have to tear it down and then reset it up day after day. So I can easily imagine that becoming a drag early on. The other parts of my camping setup, it's probably still a bit too early to tell. The pump-up mattress has been okay, but I probably do wake up about 2 or 3 times every night with that thing. So I don't know if that's the mattress or just me getting used to the new space, but it's definitely easy to stow away, and it's really quick to set up. Meant for backpackers and throwing on the ground. So it's been good so far. So really no complaints. I'm a bit of a warm sleeper, so the trips so far haven't reached my cold threshold yet, but eventually some sort of heating source. If I were to be out in this current winter weather that we've been having here in the Carolinas, I think I definitely would have needed some sort of heater as well. So other than that, yeah, I think it's been strong for the money, but definitely I'll be looking at other options in the tent space, or maybe even a camper shell down the future.
Yeah, remember I started with the blow-up mattress as well, and I couldn't sleep at all on that thing. It's too much noise, or too soft, or something to that effect. I've been much happier with the pad. I know a lot of people use the blow-up mattress. That's where I started the first time we went out, and you're seeing the pad now, because that to me is a lot more stable and less waking up in the middle of the night.
Yeah. The other problem I run into, and I think you saw it in the video early, is that while the trifold cover, I can fold it back, say just 2/3 of the way, and put the tent piece over the top of it, I am sleeping underneath that little shelf. Now I haven't woken up quickly and smashed my head into it yet, but I'm sure that day's coming too. So that probably contributes to some of my wake up time. So finding ways to make it a bit more comfortable is really next steps for me. But I can't complain for the small amount of investment, and really my main goal is to actually start getting out there and doing some of this, and from that standpoint, it's all worked out great.
Well, I know both of us were busy this Black Friday getting some new gear, so you're going to see that develop over the next couple months as we take out some new trips, bringing some of our new gear. We're still keeping things pretty well budget level, so just adding as we go and learning from these trips what we need and what we don't need. So you're going to see all that in real time as we do it, and we're excited to have you guys come along on this journey.
Yeah, learn with us along the way, and throw some comments down below if there's questions you have about how we've made the choices that we made, or if we can go into more detail on what's worked and what's not. Also love to hear what you guys have been doing, for those of you that started out on these early stage adventures too. What's worked for you?
Tell us what you're doing for heat, because we're going to need it soon, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely want to know about that, and anything you saw in our setups that you would change, give us some feedback. We're happy. We're new at this. We're learning as we go. We've watched a lot of videos trying to learn ourselves, so we would love to hear your feedback on, hey, I saw this in the video and I would recommend you change, maybe do it this way. We'd be happy to hear that feedback from you.
So if you're enjoying this type of overlanding, off-roading content, please remember to like and subscribe.